In a dark room, breathing can be heard as blood pumps into the victim's heart, beating as he hears something from behind the door approaching towards him. The sounds of heavy footsteps approach closer and closer. As the footsteps gets closer, he quickly tries to cover his heavy breathing and begins to hyperventilate. As the footsteps get closer, then stops, everything gets quiet, and all he can hear are cracking and disturbing laughs coming from the other side of the door. A knock is heard. His eyes widen, and he couldn't speak, and almost blacked out from the amount of fear being struck into his blood. A second knock is heard. As he tries to hide where the creature couldn't find him. But all there was a rocking chair. A rocking chair at the corner of the room. With nowhere to hide, all he could do is face the creature. A final knock is heard, and the loudest one yet, enough to break the door but couldn't. Then slowly, the door opens, and all you see is a creature standing behind it, slowly looking at you with its deranged smile, and all you can hear is its cracking laughing, matching the creaking floor. All you can do is stand in fear, looking at the creature in front of you, knowing every choice you made led you to this place, your final destination. There once was a boy who grew up with many talents. He went through his school at the top of his class every single year. He was popular and had charisma, unlike anyone around him. He would make a channel on a video sharing website in high school and post all sorts of content. Skits, gaming, toys, pranks, vlogs, you name it. Anything that got him attention, he did it. He gained a following, but it wasn't enough for him. One day a box showed up on his doorstep with a letter on it addressed to him. He would bring the box inside and set it on the table. The letter only read the following: "Be careful what you wish for," would open up the case to reveal a doll about 2 feet in length inside. The doll had snow white skin, bright blue eyes, long black hair, and soft red lips. It wore a black Victorian age dress and had a large black bow that bound the doll's hair backward. He set the doll on a nearby chair and walked away to go edit a video. Hours would pass and night would come and go. Ethan went to sleep, drifting off with the doll on his mind. The mystery around where it came from and what it was what consumed him. Early in the morning, he would hear his door creak open. Ethan opened his eyes to see a feminine figure in his doorway with long hair. He shot up in his bed and recoiled in shock. Would you like some wishes? She asked. I suppose, he replied, interested in the offer. The doll would introduce herself as Maria, a doll capable of taking on human form and granting any number of wishes with no limit. Although there is always a price, Ethan would wish for a larger following online, increased fame, more money, a larger friend group, and a lover who was crazy about him. Maria would agree to these wishes on the condition that upon this happening, he had 1 year to appreciate all of this, learn to control his ego, donate to charities, help people, get to know his friends, etc. If not, everything would be taken away, including his life. The year would pass and his greed would grow. All he wanted was more. Upon reaching the anniversary of the arranged agreement, he would wake up like normal. Everything was gone as if the wishes never happened. He coughed up blood as his breath escaped him. He collapsed to the ground and looked up to see the doll. You had your chance, goodbye, Maria said, sitting in a chair and watching him as he suffocated to death. The last thing in his mind was every single mistake he ever made and the people that he hurt. Welcome to Foggy Nights. I woke up to the sound of something scratching, and I looked around in the dark, but I didn't see anything. I looked at the closet door and it was wide open, and I know when I went to sleep I didn't leave it that way. As soon as I sat up on my bed, the ghost of my dead girlfriend came flying out in my face, screaming, "Why'd you leave me?" We decided to go visit my aunt who lives about 2 hours away from us. She lives deep in the country. As soon as we got to her house, we realized that it looked abandoned, and I remember the last time I saw my aunt, well, I was probably about 4 years old. So, I know she couldn't have possibly still lived there and let the house just fall apart like this. As soon as we went up to the door, we knocked on it, and we heard a voice say, "Oh, come in." We pushed open the door, and there was nothing there. We took a step inside, and then right to the left was my aunt hanging. I haven't been right since, because she was damn near a skeleton. I told my wife and kids that I was going to be feeling just fine, so I let them go out to dinner to eat so that they could have a break from me. But when they came back and I heard them pull in the driveway, I got out of bed, I went to the window, I looked outside, and there was the car, but I didn't see my wife, I didn't see my kids. I put on my robe and walked outside. When I walked up to the car, there was a note, and it said, "If you want your family back, a ransom of $2 million will do." And there was hair of my wife, tied up in a little bag. I know it was my wife's because in the bag was also our wedding ring. I was chilling at home one night, maxing and relaxing, kicking back. All my friends keep on hitting me up saying, yo man, go online. And I'm thinking, for crying out loud, I just want to lay here. Go online for what? So finally I give in so that they'll leave me alone. And when I go online and open my phone, I found a picture of my dead dog that looked like it had been butchered to death. I don't know by who, and I don't know why. I decided to go to the cemetery one night, thinking that it would be, relaxing. Yeah, I know it's weird, relaxing cemetery night. Whatever, don't judge me. It's my thing. So anyway, I go. I take a bowl with me, and I find a spot that I like, nice and grassy, not too close to any headstones. Try not to disturb, the dead. As soon as I get into my groove real good, and as soon as I hit that pipe and let it all out, right there in my face, through the smoke, was the face of something else, grinning. A grin I can't express, but I know I crapped my pants and I peed on myself. I kept on hearing this knocking, scratching sound somewhere in the closet, and I don't know what it was, but it sounded like fast at times. And then other times it sounded so slow. And I've been hearing it for months now, and I don't know what to do, but finally I got tired of it because it would always be when I would be sleeping in bed. So one night I got up and I went and opened the door. It was my husband. I forgot he had dementia. And the sad part is, he was scratching on the floor. A beach near our house was said to be haunted, but I don't believe in ghosts. So anyway, I love the beach. I go walking on the beach, and this one time, at night, the moon was full and it was bright, and in the distance, I see this lady walking, and she walks up to me, and she asks me for directions. So I pointed in the direction of which way I came, letting her know that was one of the exits. She said thanks. I thought to myself, wait a minute, why is this woman on the beach so late by herself anyway? It was like 4 a.m. It's not safe. I turned around. Mind you, it was only a couple seconds that I told her which way to go. With the full moon lighting up the beach, man, there was nobody there. So I've always had really bad sleeping trouble. Always had really bad sleeping trouble. I mean, man, let me tell you, it really sucks. But I finally found a good sleeping pill that seems to work for me, and I'm having a pretty good time with it, but I don't know if I've just had a sleeping problem or if something's been living with me in my apartment. Because this morning, well, more like in the middle of the night, it's pretty dark, and I turned over in my bed, and I don't know what the hell it was, but it was standing at the edge of my bed just staring at me, and when it realized I saw it, it took off running, and I jumped in my bed, and then I thought, I don't want to be here for this, so I turned over and closed my eyes real fast so I could hurry up and get back to sleep. I'm happy to say it worked. I don't want to talk about it anymore.
So I decided to just go for a little walk. That's all I wanted to do. Just go for a little walk. I didn't think I would be doing anybody harm. I didn't think I'd be hurting anyone, disturbing anyone, or doing anything that would upset anybody. Okay? I just want to make that clear. So when I went for this little walk, they got me. And I'm dying now. Why do humans hate roaches so much? And who made raid?
Bastard. Can't stand bugs. Twitch and die, bastard. Twitch and die.
Well, I thought it was really so cute when my girlfriend gave me this little dandelion that she picked in this field where we drive to sometimes to chill and hang out and, well, do other things. It's really cool because the grass is really high, so when I pull over and park, no one can really see us in the field, and we're close enough to the road that if someone's coming, we can hear them. But lately things haven't been so great between my girlfriend and I, but it seems like it was on the up and up because, well, we made up and, well, we had that makeup's time and you know what that can be like. So I thought everything was good. So when we're sitting in the car and she tells me she might be pregnant by me, I'm thinking, am I ready to be a dad? I'm not sure about this. I was just quiet. But when she handed me the dandelion, I started to get dizzy and kind of fade out a little bit. And as I passed out in my seat, I just heard her saying, "Whether you want to be a father or not, I'm ready to be a mom, and I don't need you around. That's why I poisoned you." Now you might be wondering, how exactly did she poison me? Let's just say she wasn't holding the stem of the dandelion when she gave it to me. She was holding the big round fuzzy part with all of the seeds. Sucks to be me. My mom always told me not to leave the TV on when I was a kid when I go to sleep because something might reach out and grab me. I always figured it was just her way of, trying to cut down on electricity and stuff, which I could understand, but it just helped me fall asleep. So this one night, when I fell asleep with the TV on and opened my eyes and found something crawling out of it, on one of those stations where it's just static, I started screaming so loud. And a few minutes later, right while the thing was taking its foot out of the TV and standing up, my mom came bursting into the room and she swung the door open. And I screamed at her, "Mom, help me!" And my mom just stood there and looked at me. She looked out of the thing, whatever it was, and she looked back at me and said, "This is why I told you to turn the TV off at night before you go to sleep. Now do you believe me?" Oh, I bet you were wondering what that was. That was my girlfriend. Now, yes, we've been dating for about 2 days. And yes, I told her that I was into kinky stuff. She told me she was too. So when I gagged her, bound her, basically hog-tied her, and tossed her in my hood, and told her we were going for a ride, well, I don't know why she flipped out and started yelling, kicking, and screaming, fighting me. I mean, I really had to wrestle her down. When I finally got her to the woods and took her out of the trunk and laid her on the ground and took the gag off her mouth, I mean, I'm not surprised the first thing that came out of her mouth was,
I didn't mean I was into kinky stuff like this. You freaking weirdo. What's wrong with you? Oh my god.
well, I just stood there looking at her for a minute. And I was really confused because all my life I've only known one kind of kinky. I didn't know there was more than one kind of kinky. So now that we've got to this point, and she doesn't even know what's coming yet, I don't know what to do. She should have spoke up a little earlier. She should have been specific. Honey, I'm home. Are you in there? Just a minute, don't come in. Oh, but sweetie, let me join you. I need a shower too. Besides, it's been such a long day at work. Here, I'm just gonna come in. Sweetie? So what the hell? What?
Yeah, you heard it. That was the sound of him passing out, hitting the floor. I mean, I told him not to come in. So what does he expect me to do when he walks in and he finds me as an alien? I just needed a minute to put back on my human suit. Like, that was it. I don't know why he couldn't just give me that. I guess knowing you're doing an alien rather than a real human, I guess, is pretty disturbing. I wonder if he'll still love me when he wakes up. I mean, we're already 30 years in. He might as well.
I was going to bed one night and I asked my mom, please don't turn off the hallway light. And my mom told me I was getting too big to still be sleeping with the hallway light, a night light, or just any light. I mean, even though I was like 15. But you know, here's the thing. I'd been telling my mom ever since I was 7 years old to please not turn off the light, and she does it anyway. And then when I told her that I was seeing some dark figure in the hallway when the light was out and she didn't believe me, she told me it was just my imagination. But now that the fact that I'm getting older and I'm not that far away from my late teens and I'm still seeing it, something should tell you that I'm not making it up. What is she not getting? I don't know why my wife is always spending so much time out the shed. She said she likes doing her wood shop and all of that kind of stuff, which is fine, but look, I'm a man. I got needs. I got wants. And that means I need her in the house sometimes, ready to go. So one day, finally, I just go outside to the shed and I don't see my wife anywhere. And then I hear some sound out back of the shed. I go out back and I find her digging a grave. And honestly, I was excited because I finally had a place to bury her when I was done. I was so happy and grateful. All I could say was, "Aw, shucks. Thanks, honey." You know what she said back to me? "You're welcome. I didn't want to have to take you too far to get rid of you." So a bunch of my friends and I decided to have a movie night, and we were all sitting around the TV watching an old Jason movie. We all liked Jason and found it pretty scary. As we're sitting there watching, we hear the patio door come sliding open, and we all turn our heads because we're all on edge from watching the movie, but we don't see anyone there. And so I get up and I go to the patio door, and it's definitely open, and I look outside, and there's no one there. I look around the kitchen. There's no one there. I turn back around to the patio door. There was a guy standing there with a monkey mask on and a machete. I just remember his hand going up, and then everything blacked out. I had told my nephew that I wanted him to move out of the house because he likes bringing all kind of people to the house. And let me tell you, he don't pick the best company. So you know what? I decided to go ahead and cash out my insurance policy. And I burned the house down while he was sleeping one night, and I knew he was in there. But the way I did it, who was gonna find out? Hell, if he didn't want to move out, I showed him I'd burn him out. And now I'm looking at new houses to buy. Papa had always told me not to go inside of his private workshop because he was a chemist and had a lot of medicines in there. So I decided one day when Papa was sick with a cold, since he's a chemist and he has a lot of medicines in there, I'm gonna make Papa better. Because I felt like if he had a cold, maybe if I give him something cold, it would make his cold go away. You know, like cancel it out. But Papa ended up passing away. Turns out I gave him liquid nitrogen. We were going on a long drive one day, and it was a beautiful day. The sun was out, the clouds were bright. We were driving, and then out of nowhere, this guy jumped in front of the car. So we slammed on the brakes, and we hit the guy. When we got out of the car, we asked the guy, "Are you okay?" The guy looked back at us and said, "Oh yeah, I'm fine. And then he got up and he took off running right across the road. We just wanted to make sure that he was okay. But then when we heard something coming at us from the direction of where he was running from, we stood there for a minute, and then it came out of the woods, and I don't know what it was, but it walked right past us, and it just wanted him. It had no face, no clothes on, and it looked like it was rotting, but it wasn't a zombie. We just stood there and watched it walk by in utter fear and shock, and it went into the woods on the other side of the road, behind its prey. We got back in the car. We were silent the rest of the entire way. I kept on telling my wife that I see this ghost around our house and it looks like a woman, but she wouldn't believe me because she never saw it. One night, my wife calls me on my cell phone, screaming into the phone, "I saw it! I saw it! Oh my God, are you almost home? Oh my God, please get here soon. I'm so scared. I saw it." I am quiet for a minute and I'm thinking to myself, what is she seeing? Because the ghost is not on my mind at this point. And I ask her, "Sweetheart, what did you see? What are you talking about?" "The ghost! The ghost! I saw the ghost!" As soon as I get home, and I pull to the driveway, there's a blonde woman standing in my door, who I've never seen before, holding my wife's clothes, and says to me, "I told you, I saw her! I saw her! I finally saw the ghost! This is what she had on!" I look at the clothes. They're my wife's. I look at the blonde woman. And I'm just wondering what the hell is going on. I came in from school one day and I was pretty hungry, and I asked my mom what she was cooking for dinner. She told me that we were gonna have some type of stew. I was down for it because I had just got back from a football game. I basically got home at night, so I was hoping dinner would be ready by now. It wasn't. But when dinner was ready, and I sat down at the kitchen table, my mom brings the pot over to the table of what she had been cooking. I asked her, what is it? She said it's stew. But then I realized Dad wasn't there with us. So I asked her, Mom, when's Dad getting home? I wanted to talk to him about something. She opens the pot, and sure enough, she takes a big ladle spoonful and puts it in my bowl of this apparent stew she was cooking. I'm pretty sure it's Dad's hand with my parents' wedding ring on it. And she says to me with the biggest smile and happiness, "Oh dear, your father's been home for hours." I was being haunted in my apartment by something I couldn't see. I didn't know what the hell it was, but I know it could see me. Because this thing, let me tell you, it used to kick my backside. It really used to kick my ass. One time, I was just scrambling eggs on the stove. Next thing you know, eggs go flying up in my face. That's not even the start of it. Another time, I was in the backyard raking leaves, and sure enough, I don't know what the hell it is about this thing throwing crap in my face, but here comes a big pile of leaves, straight to my face. Another time, I was sitting by a lamp, reading a book, and next thing you know, the lamp comes flying off the table, at my face. Another time, I'm in the shower, and the hot water, right when my face is under it, goes scalding hot. I jumped back, fell, and I banged my head, and when I woke up, I must have pulled the shower curtain down. Because I had it wrapped around my neck, and now it was choking me. I used to go to this restaurant around the corner from my house. 1, the servers were hot. 2, I liked the martinis. 3, I had nothing better to do. Anyway, I go to this restaurant, and one of the servers there, who's particularly fond of me, she ends up coming back to my apartment. We undress each other and have a good time. We fall asleep. And as soon as I wake up, all I find is this big, dark, burned out ash body print next to me on my own bed, and I have no idea what the hell happened, what it means, where she went, or why the word thank you is burned into the wall when I look up. I had just woken up, and I really needed my morning coffee. I go to the coffee pot, and I turn it on, and I wait a little while before it gets hot. And when I pour it in the cup, I don't know why, but suddenly the coffee pot just explodes in my hand, and glass goes flying everywhere. And then I hear laughing behind me. And I spin around real fast, and I see my husband looking possessed and not human. My grandma always liked living alone, but the thing is, she was getting too old to live by herself anymore. So we had her to come live with us. And for as long as I can remember, she was always the nicest lady. So when she came to live with us, and her demeanor started changing, and we started asking her, "Grandma, What's wrong? Why are you acting like this? I mean, she would throw tantrums, throw things across the room. She would really go out into rages sometimes. I mean, flip out like crazy. I mean, really out there. And when I asked her one day, Grandma, why? Why are you acting like this? You've always been so nice. She slammed her hand down. Because I can't see my friends anymore. They're all at my house. Now I feel all alone, and it's making me angry because I don't know who's winning the poker game. I'm missing out on everything we used to do. I was quiet for a minute, and I thought about it. And I'm thinking, Grandma, you've lived alone for the last 15 years. What the hell are you talking about? Now I remember when I was a kid and we'd go visit Grandma, and she would always be in the other room for a few minutes going back and forth to sit with us, and screaming and yelling and laughing with whoever she thought was there. Now I get it. I decided to go on a very long road trip one day because I just needed to get the hell away from everybody and everything. And it was completely one of those moments where I just wanted to be alone. I just needed to get the hell away from everybody. Everybody was getting on my damn nerves. I go on a road trip. I get about 3 hours away from where I live. Sun starts going down. Fine, not a problem. I see a roadside motel. I think, great, I'll stay there for the night, I'll get back on the road, and continue on wherever it takes me. Sure enough, I check in fine, I get my keys to my room fine, I go to my room, everything's fine. I take out my luggage, and I start getting out my night clothes. Eventually I shower, I go to bed. Here's the messed up part, though. When I wake up in the morning, the place looks like a bomb literally exploded, and I could see through the wall into the next 4 rooms, and I could see the wood that was exposed from where the plaster and paint had peeled and chipped off. I could see where parts of the floor had caved in and had massive holes. And when I looked out the window and I looked for my car, it was there. Where all the woods around this place came from, I have no idea, and I don't know what the hell happened, but I grabbed my bag, I ran outside, I got in my car. Thank God it started, and I blazed out of there. But I've been driving through the woods now for a good 45 minutes and I'm still not out. And when I decided to stop at a hotel last night, I was on an open highway. I don't know where I'm at. I don't know where I am. And I don't know if I'm gonna be getting out. First of all, my phone has no signal, so I can't even call anyone. I'm not gonna tell you where I am. I'm not gonna tell you where I'm gonna find you, where I'm gonna be waiting for you. I'm not gonna tell you what I'm gonna do to you. I'm not gonna tell you how I'm gonna look to you. I just wait for the signal. I see you a few times a day and you never even notice me. That's okay. When you see me, you will not be able to unsee me. I watch you day and I watch you at night. I see you at times when you eat, when you sleep, when you crap, when you pee. Yep, I do. I see you sometimes when you're cooking. I see you sometimes when you're making love.
I see you when your clothes are on. I've seen you when you're naked. That's right. I've seen you every type of way, and you never see me. But that's okay though, because for some of you, I'm gonna let you see me in a very nice way because you've been so good. And for others of you, I'm gonna see you, and when you see me, you're gonna wish you hadn't. But you won't be able to not see me, because I'm death. And when I'm told to come, I always show up. And when I'm told to excrete the soul from the body, I always do my job. Beware of me.